Welcome, guys. Sunday, bloody Sunday, 16th of November. What a day. Oh, the FOMO is kicking in, I guess. I see and hear everything around me that people are buying left and right and saying that the support and low it's in. I'm not sure about that yet. I'm still a little bit more to the downside just because, talking about the structure, we didn't even reach shit to regain or flip. So far, it's been weaker after weaker. And just in a couple minutes ago, we had a 4 hour close, a sneaky 4 hour close below. So it's gonna be interesting one. As I've been mentioning already for a week, I've been away actually for a week, so I didn't been paying that much attention on the chart just because I didn't give a shit because it was like that week and my shorts are playing quite nice. And to be honest with you, it's good to be away. It's really good. Not even listening to any fucking X or groups or whatever when you are in. Just be away and see what's gonna happen. It's nice to take your mind off. Coming back after a week, we still didn't even come close to 110 level. That the whole IPO volume over here, what we had, we didn't even reach. The next one we had around 105 ish. No, sorry, a little bit more above 107. We didn't even come close to that one to regain or flip. That was a resistance, and the last one what we had is still around the, what's that, 101 ish 5. Boy, oh boy, that's quite a dive in. We have still some bids below us, and they are quite heavily. They start to pile in. There's still some pressure from above. The 2K bids are still pushing the price, so there is a lot of going on. And to be honest with you, I'm not even looking for longs at all yet. That's going to be happening when we're going to reach the levels that I'm aiming for. So far, we're literally breaking the support right now. So just be aware of that. Long and short ratio, still kind of looking to go a little bit more higher on the long. So be aware of that one on 24 hours. And to be honest with you, overall, we are 76% in. So you know what that means. This is still continuation. Still, it's going to be changed. When that's going to be changed? When you're going to reach your previous resistance and you're going to flip that. That's going to take a time. That's not going to happen in a day. We are grinding to the downside. We're still doing the lower low after lower low. So be please aware of that. Moving along to the charts, because there's a lot of talk about it, and I really want to cover quite heavily on it. So on the VIX, as I've been mentioning as well, we are still in an uptrend. That's gonna change when we're gonna reach the 17 area and we're gonna get close to the 15. Starting to break the low on that one, we might see some potential for the upside. So far, it's only a pullback for regaining the highs again. The next level that I'm gonna mention as well is the level that we've been already hitting twice after we had this flush through it. That's the 22. If we're gonna reach that 22, close anything above it, then we're gonna go for 28. So that means still potential to go to the downside on the charts, but volatile on the charts, but the VIX gonna skyrocket as well. So be please aware of that. We are quite squeezing, but this is still up. Right? A lot of people are misreading this as well. I've been mentioning, but so far, let's see how the week's gonna open up. That's gonna be quite interesting actually after the whole second, third. That's the fourth lower low that we settled on a high time frame. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Even then, we're gonna reach 17. We might flip it to go a little more higher up. But if you want to be really conservative with it and see some break and turning around on the chart, you need to reach the 15. That's the main area. Reaching that area, the market's gonna pull up a little bit more higher, right? So far, Dixie, we really quite nicely got hit on 98. We are holding it. That means potential still upside movement for it. We didn't break anything to the downside. That was just a pullback. If that start to reverse and go for the new high, you know what that means for Bitcoin already, right? So overall, this is still uptrending. All right, be aware of that. So the trend line, but it's an uptrending momentum. That's the sign. I'm still going by till the 98 is gonna break, or 98.7. That's the low that you need to break for any kind of potential break of the. All right. So far, doesn't really happen, and that's on the daily chart. Be aware. Filter tree, as mentioned as well, the daily low already been broken twice, and the third one's going to be right now if we start to close on the daily. So what does that mean? If is that we are starting to get below the support that we already broke, and the next aim is the area of 800. Another thing, that doesn't look good for whole market if you like see the potential movement. So that said, we are still in continuation. We didn't even regain anything. We didn't even settle a new high. We still failing the previous lows. So nothing else to say about that. Even if you're inverted, what does that mean? Still continuation, right? As simple as it gets. There's nothing else to say about it. This is just simple price action. Nothing on manipulation, as people like to say, or even some bad things that they try to mention on X or whatever. I don't care about it. This is pure price action focus. And this is still grinding to the downside. I've been mentioning that as well since this freaking hip over here, that we might do some sideways to the downside. And then we start to break it, right? When we start to find any low on that one. So far, as I've been saying, we are losing the low after low. Be freaking aware of that. X, perfect movement from the Wednesday I've been mentioning over here. I'm aiming to get back at 4.2. And look at that, to the T. Nice bounce, rejected from it. And so far, this is technically the mid. Yeah, this is the mid area of it. So let's say this is the daily mid. We are finding support on the daily mid. Let's see if we're gonna reach a little bit lower. If not, we might grind it a little bit more to the sideways. Right, still nice play. We didn't break anything to the upside yet. That's gonna be still aiming for 4.37 for any potential break of the high time frame structure. That's not even close yet. Not really much to say about that. CME gap, we will have, if this is still continuing and we're gonna reach, for example, a little bit more lower, that's the first time that we're gonna have CME gap above the price action. So that's still aiming for a potential to go lower till we're gonna fill the CME gap. But that's gonna be the first one since, I guess, ages. So we had the CME gap that we've been trading below the CME gap instead of above it. So that's gonna be interesting. Definitely something to keep an eye on it and look out for it on the Sunday close. And then the next one, of course, the dominance. So I've been mentioning this small range over here, the 59, or technically 60, and the 59.5 area. We broke the low on that one. So technically, we are kind of in a good position on the dominance, right? We want to go to the downside, but if we start to break the low, we need to fail on the high. So we seriously need to see if we're gonna fail on the 60. That's potentially quite significant resistance. If that's gonna happen, we might turn around. So that's already the first one, significant key level that you want to look out for any potential reversal on the charts. So far, we just broke the low. If we're gonna regain the 59.9% and we're gonna flip this whole 60% over here, we might aim for the 60.7. So technically still a little bit downside, but then we start to turn around maybe, and that's gonna be the whole break. Could be. Let's see. So far, we only fail at the low. So we broke the low on that one. That's potentially good. Now we need to fail on any high. In the meanwhile, we're still gonna grind a little bit more lower. I hope that's a little bit clear on the perspective and what we might expect from the next week so far. We need that one. Overall, market-wise, think every single fucking stream that I'm doing, the stablecoins are up. So those the stablecoins, so that means the market is going on this sideways a little bit, money out, take profits out, or whatever they're doing, pulling the orders. So everything is getting into the stablecoins. That's already in 60%. Altcoins had a quite nice momentum, but we are starting to lose that. We're getting close to neutral line. Bitcoins are quite heavily to the downside, and the large caps are still grinding this freaking minus 60%. So potential, this is still continuing in both direction. So be aware of that. Even the wave masters start to reach to the weakness a little bit, and doesn't even come close to the 60% area. Okay. So yeah, the whole push we had from the sellers, they've been quite nice in price action right now. The bulls didn't even step in, or the buyers didn't even step in, didn't even come close to that one. We still can reach a little bit lower on that one. Fail on this whole structure. That means the whole support what we're holding right now. Yes, we still have some potential more liquidity to the upside, but with all those gaps in between, that's going to be a grind to the to try to regain anything even to the upside so far, and all that volume still control to the downside. So sorry if I'm not bringing the good news, but for me, I don't care which way we are trading. That's still the good news for me. Still potential to go lower, and my shot's gonna fail. I'm not really keen on looking or taking any fucking knife catching longs or whatever. First thing first, structure and price action. Now, moving on the capital flow index, as I've been saying, and last stream, I mention that again. Proof my thinking about it. What did I say last stream? That I'm looking at capital flow index same as I'm looking at the charts. That means this is the low. We need to break. We didn't break. We regain the high right now. So potential, that's still more likely to go higher, right? Sorry, I was looking at different. So yeah, this is still in up movement. Same as I'm looking at the charts. This is the way I'm looking at capital flow index most of the times. So be aware of that. This is really important as well, just to signify how the market moves and even there is potential to go higher or lower. Overall, VIX high in 38%, still potential to go lower. Gold start to drop, but still holding on this whole structure. Didn't break anything major. Dixie start to regain or coming back into the neutral line. Flipping that, we might even go a little more higher up. And SPX is a little bit more below the neutral line. The rest of the market down. As logically this sounds, this whole block gonna flip when all of this shenanigans gonna be over here or even here. So this is gonna be the change, right? Then you're gonna see the change in the whole market. So far, not even there. This whole market is the volatility index overall of it. So if all of that shit is above the neutral line, to make it as simple as it possible is, this will stay below and still continue to go lower, even if you reach 64%, because that's already heavy. Last time we've been there, that's in February. And I've been already mentioning that the move that we just did from the mid of this whole movement, it's the similar move that we was doing in February. So be aware of that. Well, and yeah, that's kind of all on the capital flow index, I guess. There's not much to mention. This is still potentially going higher. And the market is still grinding the freaking minus 60%. So yeah, not much to say about that. But now we are starting to get into the juicy stuff, because price action that I want to talk about. Let's do first the 4-hour. As I've been saying, we had a 4-hour sticky close. With that body close, that was quite sneaky. Below, that broke the structure already and the low. So right now, the only hole that we are aiming to have, it's not really this anymore. It's the 94.0, exactly 94. That's the last daily low that you can hold on. Break that, we start to get really into the thick stuff below us. Also in quite heavily to the downside. Why? I'm going to mention that in a second. Overall, what we just been doing is failing every single low. Not even coming close to reach the high for it. And so far, we've been failing. We couldn't even flip this 4-hour structure. Not even close by doing that. So that said, guys, there is shitloads of weakness into the market because and people are scared and they don't bother to trade it. So far, if you don't see anything on the charts in front of you on 4-hour or whatever, go on the 1-hour. 1-hour is much more frequent to see when the failing of the levels are coming in. For example, over here, closing below, even if we have been quite higher, right? That's already a failure of the level. So already you could signify that we've been struggling over here. Same thing over here, right? On the side retest, exact same thing. And Wave Master, guys, I cannot stretch it how important it is because Wave Master is doing exact the same thing that you're doing on the chart. You have every single low after low after low after low. And if you think that the 4-hour can reverse, maybe, yes, it can. But look at the 1-hour, how it's behaving, how quickly you're starting to get overheated and how quickly you start to turn around. That's already quite significant change as well, right? So please be aware of that. If you don't see anything, skip one time frame or go one time frame below or higher. That's always like noise canceling and really, really good indicator to give you quite a lot of information what's going on if you don't see it right now in front of you on the chart. Right, 4-hour still in capital flow, outflow, negative, didn't even pop the cross yet. If we're gonna start to get below that, we might see that first pop of the cross, positive cash flow in. We might see that small reversal on that one, but then still we need to regain any structure to the upside. So far, we didn't do it, and we just broke the low. Easy as it gets. Now, let me erase everything. I want to show you something else. I saw quite heavily that people been really, really heavily on those lines. This is good. Be aware that those liquidity lines, like the leverage liquidity, it's only locally and what you left. Everything what you see over here, technically, your brain will say there is nothing over there, but there is even more than you think. How can you signify that? And how can you see that? Simply, I've been mentioning that for a really long time and people don't care about it, apparently. Use the bands. Why? Because the band shows you the real liquidity and where it ends. Levels are always locally. That's good if you want to have the local price action or a potential bounce, regain, or whatever, or continuation in that perspective of the momentum. But if you want to know what's below you really deep, then the bands are your key levels for it. Because right now, the mid core, as I've been mentioning as well, from the beginning of this whole freaking move, every single time you came back in that core trend, we've been failing it because we are trending right now below that whole core trend. That means all of the high liquidity is pushing the price to the downside. You didn't regain that. As clear as it is, you're still aiming to go lower. Is there potential to go lower? Yes, it is. And even all of that liquidity below us is significant for the market maker. We not always need to aim for the 150 axis. Those are easy money makers. The lower ones, as in the first what we are reaching is the green one. That's the 20x. Still potential more to the downside. After that, you have the 10 axis. Still a lot of liquidity below. Then you start to get into the lower ones. That's the purple one and the dark blue. So that's the 3 and 2 ones. And that potentially still is a lot of liquidity below, even more than you think about it. Because last time we out the 20, we were a little bit lower than that. That was the low that we settled. But look how many times you reach even the band of the 21, right? Here. Look at that. Can we go lower? Yes, we can. Did we do it? Oh, yeah. So many times. Right? So be aware of that. There is potential much more movement to the downside that people can't even think about it. And don't get stuck with the levels only to see the bias that you want to see, and that's the up movement. Because yes, this is potential or will be sooner or later going to be taken out. But there is still more to the downside, even if the levels doesn't show you, because they don't. Right? This is just way too back of history to keep all of that liquidity levels and everything on the indicator. That's not going to show you now. Average one, yes, they will. So that's why I'm using the bands much more often for the long term than the levels. Right now, what we are doing, easy as it gets. We get from 150 axis over here. We failed the 20, got back and kind of a little bit more deeper into the 20, and we're failing over here. Where do we aim right now? Here. That 92. That's below the 93, 94-ish level. That means we're gonna break it. And then we might even fill this, all of this. Or grind it more. Right? Why not? We're still doing it. People are still not used to it. Yeah, we are doing it. This has all been grinded. Right? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Till we're gonna reverse it. I think I've been saying that, or we're gonna do exact same thing as we've been doing over here. Here. And here. That whole dump scenario on the end. Right? So keep that in mind. The bands are a little bit more reliable than the level. And not so long ago, we broke the whole low that the whole price action above the 100K been hold. So technically, we are breaking the higher time frame right now. Just in, what was it? Thursday. From the Thursday low, that Thursday low been broken. That's been broken on Thursday as well. So all of that, what we did from the high till in this whole red box is just a pullback. And people already been panicking and fucking losing their minds. About what? About a pullback? High time frame pullback? It's quite funny for me to see people panicking about all of this. Right now, this is the area when people should start panicking, losing this shit. Now is the moment. They've been front running a little bit more. Where do we go next? There. This is your next stop. From 84-ish till 74 is your next stop. If you start to fail right now the floor and grind this whole bullshit to the downside. All of that what we just did was use a pullback till we fell 98. Okay. So right now, I'm gonna show you what I'm looking at for the first potential pit stop. Yes, we could even grind a little bit more lower because if you look at a monthly, and people forget about the monthly quite often, this doesn't look quite healthy at all. Been there, we recover from it, but how many times you gonna do it? After the whole freaking divergence from April. So be aware of that. And the cash flow reversal came in last month. That was the potential move to the downside. Everyone been take profit, selling off or whatever. selling the bags off, and that's the whole potential for the price to go lower. Obviously, there's nothing else about that. So let's reverse that. Now, monthly level that you want to look out is this the monthly one. That monthly, and put a color on it because it's going to be a lot. So be aware right now what we're going to do. This is the monthly level. That's the 82, the first monthly support that you're going to aim, previous low. Break that, you're going to aim for 58. So I'm going to color coded all of the levels right now in front of you, so you're going to know what you need to look out for. I'm not saying we're going to go straight into the bear market, because the bear market is going to be around the 31 level. This is the bear market. That's going to be the bottom kind of edge of bear market. Right? We're not going to reach it in one go. I think so. I like to think that we're not going to reach in one go. I mean, by all means, my short's going to be happy about that, but still, potentially, we might do something like this. Break the low, right? Not on the wick, but only on the body. Come back, and we're going to round the highs. We will settle definitely a new higher high. And that's going to be the whole pivot point, go lower. Why? Because we've been doing it quite often. Every single bull market ends like that. We've been scammed over here as well because we lost the whole floor. We settled over here, we run it up, and we went higher to close above the monthly of the previous round. And all of us technically been quite FOMOing in. Retail been buying the shit out of it because we all been thinking we're gonna go higher up. And no, we didn't. And that was the whole pivot point, that high that we dumped quite significant to the bear market without even coming back for any high to be retested. We didn't retest any shit when we did all of that. And most people been caught off guard with this as well. We hold the low and then we turn around. Be aware of that, please. Keep this as your guidelines, because by all means we're gonna do, and technically we are doing it right now, all of that move, but a little bit more extended. So that's what I'm thinking. We're gonna round the high definitely to scam everyone out, get stopped out, and we're gonna fail quite heavily. That's the monthly. Now, let me show you something on the weekly. That's gonna be a little bit more different, and there is gonna be over here a block of around 10K area that you need to watch out for. In this block, right? Even if you're gonna break the low, right? This is still the block that you technically gonna want to see some reversal potential on it. That means I'm gonna get into it, start to grind it out, fail, coming back, and then do something like this. Start to build up some structure on it. That's gonna be the block of 10K movement over here. Why? Because the monthlies at we settled that that the monthly is going to be at 82K. Now, if this is the previous weekly high that you settled from this low, you had this high and you fail from it, and then you start to regain quite aggressively, right? So this high matters right now. This is your weekly high. We're gonna make that high blue. And this is the new low after you broke that low. So you settle a new low on the weekly low. So this is your weekly low. And you see already what kind of range you are, right? I extend a little bit lower because if we start to break this low, that's the break. Break of 78 means we broke the whole high time frame structure. That's the low that you technically want or not want. It depends how you look at the market. I wanted to break it for potential high time frame, new low, and then you're gonna go back into the highs. Maybe you're gonna fail on it or regain the high and then do this. Right? This is what you need to do. Same thing. treat it as 5 minute or 1 minute or whatever, 1 hour chart. If this is 1 hour chart, what do you want to know? Right? For potential hold on it, if you're going to do something like this and start to regain, you have a continuation. Right? This is still continuation, obviously. But what's happened if you break that? Then you start to form some structure, run the highs, fail from it quite heavily, right? Because then you start to turn around. You fail the previous low. So it's a lower low. I hope that's clear. Anyhow, that's the weekly and the monthly levels that you need to pay attention as a high time frame ones. Now it gets a little bit more interesting because the daily one on the swing levels, right? Every single level that's been over here. So this is the high, this new low. This is the high, this new low. Now we went for the high, technically the midpoint over here. We didn't regain that, but then we hold that and we went straight up. So this high been regained by this move, right? Hopefully you can follow me on that one. But anyhow, it's going to be a little more clear about it in a second. So if this is your daily high, then this is your new daily low. Now, I hope that square going to make a little bit more sense. Right? Daily low is lower than a weekly and a monthly one. Daily high is higher than the weekly one and the monthly as well. So be aware that this range is starting to get quite heavy on the range. That means that's going to be 87 and 87. That's going to be 10K range that you're going to play over here. Same what you had it here, which you build up. Now, reaching that area over here, I mean, that's going to be like small bounce maybe or something like this, coming back into it. I start to grind, and hopefully going to regain that in some form of shape. Okay? So those are the levels that you seriously need to pay attention when the price starts to get close to it. Because as I've been saying, losing this, let's tested this one over here, what we are doing right now. What's below you? Zoom in. This is the level that you technically aiming right now to hold or fail from it, make it or break it. The rest of it to the left, that's been all tested. There's nothing here to hold. Below you is a fair value gap. So that's a slide to the downside. What's the level that you're going to meet first? That's the daily high over here. That's technically been tested on this week. So potentially you could say this could be canceled because that high been already tested with this, and that's why you regain it that quickly and that aggressively. That's been the case. Remember, I've been talking about that when we've been on the price section over here. Anyhow, so already this one shouldn't be even considering a high that you've been aiming for. Next one should be the weekly one. Why? Because the weekly will be the first body close over here that you're gonna aim for to reach when the price gonna drop. That's the first body you're gonna reach. There's nothing else in between. And already technically as well, that's been tested with this whole week. I'm still gonna keep it because it's a quite heavy high time frame level to watch out for. I'm still gonna keep it over here. But the next ones are already over here. So from 87K, you go down to 83K range. Something over here, right? That's going to be settled. I'm going to reach that area. We might potentially break it, right? Break the high time frame. So the weekly one over here, or we're going to hold it. That's going to depend. So far, if we're not going to hold on right now on here, or in any magically way reverse from it, this is still going down. Be clear. Sorry, need to drink some coffee. Need to wake up after the trip. Yeah, this is still continuation. Drink something. Something, yeah. Something strong, you mean? Hello, Viking. Been a while. Been away for a week. You didn't miss me at all, I know. Got a nice quiet streams. Ooh, look at that. Come on.
What's up, girl?
Hello, hello. All right. Having some fun time.
Have some fun
Short,
time. Very
shorting.
nice.
Very nice. I like. I like.
Polish people are like the Borats of
Yeah,
Europe. It's great.
we are. We are. We fucking love it. But yeah, how are you doing? Are you shorting?
Go.
Please don't
Oh, dude,
tell me.
I've been macro short for a while. I mean,
Fuck yeah.
we all know this. I got the little bounce move that we got like on Friday. I saw that move happening. That's why I had to post it in the chat.
Mm,
94.5. I was like, it just screamed like instant bounce.
yeah.
Which is funny. Is like I made more on that like scalp simply because I literally pressed a zero. It was really dumb, like really dumb. Like
Happens.
I was messing with it, and I was changing the leverage, and I was typing it in manually.
Ooh.
And then to click send, I put 7x instead I put 70x.
Oh shit. Yeah,
And then
okay.
it hit and it hit and like the first 5 minutes, I was like, oh, it's reversing nice. And I was looking at the P&L, I'm like, the fuck? The P&L in like 10 minutes had like 4 digits, and I was like, what the hell is going on? And then I
Awesome.
look at my leverage, I go, ah. I freaked out really hard. And then as soon as we got back to the daylight, I was like, done, bye, thank you.
Yeah, I have so many times like I'm fingering it or something like
Yeah,
horrible,
dude.
especially on
It,
mobile. It's
dude, and that's what I was doing. I was literally posting it, and that's why my charts that I posted were on mobile, because I was like, oh, I
mm,
was just out. And I was like, oh, screw it, I'll take the position. Like a bunch of my alerts went off, like for hitting that zone.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'll just take the position. And then like 15 minutes into it, my wife's like, what is the matter with you? Like, what are you're freaking out? You're screaming like all the girls. Like, I just 70x something, and it was so dumb. And I didn't die.
Yeah, that's a scary moment. Yeah, I have it so
It
many
was.
times as well. But yeah,
It
I had
ended
a
up being the
nice
best scalp
small
I've
one
done
over
in
here,
six
but
months, but like the most profitable scalp I've done in 6 months, but still.
nice, nice. Exactly, what's scary, definitely. I can imagine that.
But yeah.
I don't like to trade it on mobile, but sometimes when you are away, like fuck, you're like, oh, okay, let's do it. Like there are moments
Well,
that you fuck it up.
I have it because like all of my stuff is like, I have, so basically my setup is I've got about 4 exchanges, actually 5 now, that are like have automated trading systems running,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So the way I have it set though is that I have like alerts and like auto logged in and stuff like that. So basically that's like part of like my daily stuff is that I check to make sure that my computer and my phone I've 2FA'd and logged in on
Yeah.
everything, and I use a VPN, I use Molvad, which is awesome. And then I use split tunneling to make sure that like there's no IP restriction.
Mm-hmm.
And basically I want to be able to like, if something's happening like in real time, I can click on the app, I can open up my positions, and I can force close everything. Or
Exactly.
even better, I mean, but like with the system I have, I can literally have I literally have a button that's been programmed as like a force close, that it's basically a channeler that forces that connects all my different exchanges to the different API
Mm-hmm.
systems. And I literally have a panic button on that, so I can
That's
just literally
good.
hit stop.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it full exits all positions.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's really awesome.
I had to, man. I mean, it was like an extra like 3 grand or something with a programmer I trust, and then I had another friend who went through it with me, so to make sure that we're all on the same
Mm-hmm.
page. But yeah, just to have an ejecto button is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. It's good. It's good. I know that some exchanges have it as well, like close all positions in once or something, but
Yeah.
yeah, not all of them, I guess, use them. Yeah, that's good. It's good to have it. But yeah, what you think? How deep you gonna go?
Um, right now we'll see what happens on the open, just because I believe, I mean 94.5 is effectively the
Mm-hmm.
yeah 94.5 is the CME gap.
Yeah, that's a
Did we get a
small
CME
one.
report? just trying to look if we got we got a really small one now.
Yeah.
Yeah, still no CME report, which is not surprising. Yeah, but I mean, we'll probably get a pop squeeze if we regain 96.5, but outside of that, I don't see anything.
Nope.
We're just squeezing down into the overlapping support down here at 93.5. I still expect something, but yeah, until we regain 96.5, like there's not even anything local that looks attractive to try and
Yeah.
hedge long.
And
The
even
only
if you're
reason I saw
gonna
it on Friday was just because like I was literally looking on Exo
Mhm.
with the order flow. And I
Yeah,
saw like all of these trap positions. I was like, okay, yeah, they have to run it back up, and they did.
exactly. Yeah, that small hip over here. Yeah, and even then, if we're gonna regain at 95.5-ish or 6-ish area, like I mean that underside retest, that's gonna be key as well. Like
Yeah, it's all underside retesting until
yeah,
something's gained. I
exactly.
mean, the easy answer here is just look at the daily. What are you doing?
Yep.
Like, yes, you're an overlapping daily support, but you're still double bearish retesting the December open from last year. Um, the one upside is that you do have confluence starting to build on like the high time frames. So it has me thinking that we're going to potentially get into a divergent stuff. It feels honestly, if I had to pick a time frame, it feels like we're about to start going into something like March through mid-April price action. That's what it kind of feels like we're going to go into. But I'm optimistic in the sense that like probably by later next week is that we'll actually find a local bottom. It's just if we happen to find one here or not. I'm more concerned that if we don't test the lows now and then regain stuff to go higher, we're going to see like the end of market swing failure. That's what I'm mostly concerned about.
Yep. Yeah, that's why I'm aiming as well. Like if we start to fail right now, and this is really gonna go quite deep, then 86 maybe ish, but Q2 I'm kind of aiming for it to hold, and if not, we start to break anything. That's gonna be done. And to be honest with
I mean,
you,
you mean Q2? Like you think we'd hold above? I don't think we hold
don't
80
I don't
above
think
in
so. Yeah,
Q2.
yeah, I don't think so.
Yep.
We might see small bounce, right, coming back and then do like a, I don't know, maybe something to underside retest for next failure. We're gonna settle right now 94-ish and then start to pop again the low. Because I'm still like I don't know why I have a feeling we're gonna do exact the same thing what we did over here the previous bull market. We're gonna break that whole low over here, settle some support, and then run the high, and that's
We
gonna be
could,
below the 78-ish.
we could, but the only issue I have right now is that my conditions for like fundamentally changing my position from like macro long to macro short, which
Mm-hmm.
we should all be macro short,
Mm-hmm.
and probably for the last 2 weeks, given what has transpired effectively. Um, yeah, I don't see anything until Q3 is regained. Like to keep it as simple
Oh
as
yeah,
possible. Unless
yeah,
we see Q3 regained, everything is higher time frame down until proven otherwise.
yep.
That's the way I'm kind of looking at it.
That's the first biggest hip that you need. Yep, yep.
Exactly. If you flip that, like you're regaining what is currently weekly and like high time frame resistance. So regaining that alone is just enough to say we're gonna run to at least 115, probably 123, like 123.4 would
Yep.
be like
I
my
could see that.
target.
Yeah, or even wick higher, come back, close, fail.
Oh yeah, or even make a
Yeah.
new high. Well, that's the thing is if we make a new high now, like we would be fundamentally destroying the Wyckoffia distribution
Mm-hmm.
structure.
That's true.
So if we ever made a new high like right now, which is very unlikely given the current structure, then you have to be macro buying higher lows for a continuation. But for right now, I mean, the one thing I will say is that like low time frame, like hourly and stuff, you're at like giga maximum huge low time frame support, and it's the
Mm-hmm.
weekend, and there's a potential gap above you. So like if I was naked and didn't have any positions right now, I'd be looking to build one like 90 down from here down to like 93.5 as a bounce and cut it real tight. Like but even then, it's like the over because once this fails, once the yearly open is like failed and all the support there is failed, then you have to target like I mean my level is exactly 88.5, I think. Let me check.
81.5.
88.5, yeah. Look at the Binance perpetual. You'll see the swing there, and it's untested. 88.5.
Oh, 88.
Go back to the start of April. That wick. That
Wick.
little long wick.
Yeah.
That one. That one right there. The top of that wick. That's my target if we do break the current lows as like initial TP. And then look at it. Look at it on the weekly.
Up. 88. Exactly. Right, wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I could see that. Going back, wick maybe into the body close over here and start to come back.
Yeah, because we're getting at oversold levels that we haven't seen since like
March.
September of 24, basically. All we need is like in this structure is to build basically a regain of like previous lows. That's it. To potentially start flipping things, but for right now, there's just nothing.
Not even close. Basically 1 hour starts already. I mean, we broke already the structure. That we're still continuing.
Yeah.
May is not even holding. We might see some small bounce of yearly, but that's nothing major. And then you need to flip the December to even potential think about the previous daily. We gained that on the side retest. Every single daily what we had was been failing it constantly. Not even
Coming
retest.
into a bounce.
And have a look at the alts yet.
Yeah, high time frame. It's coming into a structure you want to see a bounce from.
Yeah. 132.
That's
I
right,
had it in
like,
mind.
It's one of those weird things where like the macro is down, but low time frame. Yeah, you could do some bounce shit and really mess with the longs because or the shorts because there's quite a bit of people, especially on like ETH and Sol over the weekend. They're all just stacked at like 32.40 on ETH and like let me just check the book 1 sec. Yeah. And like 144 on Sol. So I don't really see it. Like if there's gonna be a bounce move, you're just gonna wreck those out by like 1.5 points. So you might get a run back to like May on Solana. Just to wreck all the high leverage guys.
148. Yeah. I like. I need to pay attention a little more on Solana. I forgot about it constantly. Like I'm focusing a little bit more on different ones, but I don't know. Like somehow I played it anyway. A good one.
Yeah, Solana's a nice one. I like to trade it just because it's the price action is like pretty simple.
That's the area over here. Still more support below you. Good. Yeah. So far, how it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm always skeptical when you see these breaks over the weekend, you know.
But that's going to be the first time we're going to have a CME gap, like in ages, CME gap above us.
Yeah.
If we're going to have that one, right?
Above us.
Yeah, above us.
Yeah, one of my bigger concerns is that the USDC.T is playing out perfectly to the failures. So like let me share it. I'll share it in the chat. But like, this was the chart I posted on Friday during the stream, and I said, I showed on chat on chart,
Now we should.
and we're gaining above the level I said for sub 100 on Thursday.
Or yep. We're technically doing exact the same thing what we did in April. Before April, all that whole move up in the wicks. Yep.
Yep.
Getting there. And USDT as well, same thing. Finding into the resistance right now. I mean, that's as well quite the reason kept the flow index USDT quite high as well. The one stable coins over here quite heavily into the 60%. So yeah. Even trying to fail anything. Yeah. Dixie potentially start to reverse. I mean, still holding, grinding it higher. Fix potentially continuation to the upside. A lot of things facing the same thing. Only the Bitcoin dominance broke the low, so on the daily, that's okay to have it right now. And next failure of the high, you might see some turning around. Potentially.
Yeah, we'll see. We
I
shall
mean,
see.
yeah, exactly. It's gonna be an interesting week for sure. Not much of
Yeah.
numbers coming in, right? Only on the 20th, housing next week after that, I have some numbers coming in, but still down it is. Still otherwise.
Yeah, I like if I, but you know, down it is on the macro. If I had to like gun to my head right now, like until we lose that yearly open, I'm kind of like jokingly hoping for a bounce, just to basically wreck out all the shorters over the weekend. We'll see, but it's still definitely low. Like
Mm-hmm.
we did a sneaky 4 hour, even like all the structure is just showing weakness at
It
the
is.
current.
It is. That's why I started the stream
Yeah.
today. Like there's weakness all of the places. Like even this over here, what we had, like that grind up. Like yeah, we tried to regain the previous one. Yeah, the failure of the Q3, and then start to fail quite heavily from the weekly. Like obviously, every single daily. Look at that. Like previous one, small up movement, underside retest, failure, quite heavily. Next one, we didn't even test it. Done.
Yeah, and then you know, ever since April, we've had Solana on that CME as well. So we'll
Yep.
see if Solana's going to clear a gap.
Exactly. Yeah. That's going to be interesting as well to look out for.
Because Solana actually on the CME, and like the funniest thing about all this is that the longer we go through this stuff is like the more accurate the CME charts become in my
Mm-hmm.
mind, just
Yep.
because of the overall volume traded on them. And if you look at the Solana, like SOL1 exclamation mark is the ticker. You just cleared a gap. Like you just cleared the only CME gap to the downside. So this needs to regain like on the CME chart 145, and you're likely to see a move to like 158, which would be wild. Oh, and I'm excited too because next month or later this month. No, it's November. So in
December.
December, Infinio is going to get a major V2 upgrade on their whole interface and their app and everything.
Ooh,
And then I can switch everything over.
that's gonna be interesting.
Oh yeah, I mean, because here's the thing: it's like of all the things about Infinio, like obviously the token price, it's like the
Mm-hmm.
whole market, but at the end of the day, it's like you can actually create IBANs with it, like individual IBANs, and
Mm-hmm.
like from a
Mm-hmm.
banking perspective, that way it's like its own entity, so it's not an intermediary. It's kind of like a bank in a
Inside
sense.
bank of a bank. Yeah, technically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
pretty exciting.
Nice stuff. And you are going to London as well in December, right?
I am. I'm going to
Yeah.
be. I'm running. I'm actually hosting the keynote panel at Tokenize London.
When are you there?
2nd and 3rd of December.
I'm gonna go to Poland as well in December.
Yeah, I'm there on the 2nd and 3rd. I'm flying
Beginning of
in
the
on
week.
the 1st and then flying out early on the
Nice.
third on the 4th.
Do you have a
So I'll be
link
there
to
for two
share
whole
over
days.
here? Go for the guys.
Yeah, yeah. Tokenize London.
Yeah.
It is not like. By the way, just FYI for people, it is not a like typical crypto bromance like Bitcoin. Like what's going on right now or last week
Mm-hmm.
was Bitcoin Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Way more like retail friendly. It was like a big party. Like, I think there was like 20,000 plus people there or something. It was just wild. This is smaller. It's like 5,000 people, but it's well, if you want to follow the money, it's all the high net worths and all of the infrastructure stuff. So the builders. So on the panel I'm hosting, I've got Solana Foundation, I've got State Street, Bricken, so tokenized properties, and another guy um, who's also, I believe, tokenized property.
Do you
Because
know
everything is going to be tokenized.
do you know if the panel is gonna be live streamed as well?
I don't think so. I don't. I don't know honestly, but I don't believe they have any like live streaming
Mm.
stuff that they're planning on. Um, because like part of the deal was like very luckily I was like I'm good friends with the guy who's running the event, but
Mm-hmm.
also it's like I've done it in the past where like I've hosted the panel and I've been on like a different discussion panel as well, and well that's kind of like I got a little bit of a name in like within that community because I basically called out a dude who was a developer for who's basically developing out central bank digital currency for the Federal Reserve as a contractor.
I
And
remember the fight.
yeah, I know. It was fucking hilarious, and I was like, and that's all it was. Is like he couldn't define what money was, and then he couldn't tell me what problem CBDC fixes,
Mm.
and it became a firestorm at least at the event, which
That's
was
so
fun. People
fun.
came up to me. Oh, dude, it was great. Like to get someone to like shit their pants when it's
Yep.
like call them on their bullshit, especially when it's like in my mind there's nothing more critical in the entire planet right now than keeping digital ID and central bank digital currency out of your
Yeah.
society,
Exactly.
because the moment you have that you live in effectively what's called a panopticon. It is a prison. By all intents and purposes you are a slave, you are a prisoner, and there's nothing you can do to break out of that system.
Yeah.
That's
And you don't
horrifying.
own anything anymore.
No, yeah, because everything you own can be moved away.
Yep.
Because here's the thing about tokenization that people don't realize: like tokenization is going to be great for transparency, but it's also going to mean that if it's a central tokenization or centralized tokenization, like which the stock market is, or the Nasdaq or different indices, they can just move shit away from people. you know, like there's no stop. Like it effectively, you know, it, when people first realize that, hey, I'm holding more than 10,000 euros in my account and I'm going to get taxed 10% per week on my existing overcharge until it goes back to 10K, that's when people are going to freak out. But, in Europe, people don't have guns, so you can't shoot the government out of power.
I wish,
It's,
but
well, it's like in the US. It's like the reason why, yeah, it's pretty tyrannical and psychotic, the entire government of the US, but at the same time, it's like that's why the Second Amendment exists. It doesn't exist for protection or defense or home, whatever. It's like, so when you can't vote the tyrants out, you can shoot them out.
Mhm.
That's the entire point. So it'll be interesting. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's we'll know by the end of the year, by the end of the decade, basically. It's like, are we gonna be effed and going straight into communism or something new?
Yeah, that's gonna be definitely an interesting year, beginning of new decade.
I got a good friend of mine here. He's pretty convinced that when democracy fails, everyone's going to go back to like
Yep,
fascism.
yep.
He's like, yeah, because he's like the commies, like everybody hates the commies, and the commies need to be shot. Which I agree. Like, killing commies is always a good thing. They're not people.
Yeah, they're
So
fucking animals. Yeah, that's
yeah, but
true.
he's he made some interesting points of like, yeah, it's like when the fake democracy collapses, like what do people turn to? It's like they're going to go back to like fascism. They're going to go back to like wanting monarchy and like centralized control. But yeah, you have to destroy the EU for that.
Yeah, that's
So
the whole fucking worst thing ever. What we are sitting right now. Like you guys not really dealing with it, like in the Scandinavia, right? But over here,
oh no, we
it's
are.
a
I mean,
shit all.
we're dealing with like the migrant problem
Yeah,
on
exactly that problem. Yeah, exactly. That's as well one of the biggest over here. But as well one of the biggest why I'm moving back to Poland. But
yeah.
uh,
I mean, I literally have had that discussion with my wife. It's like, where would we move to? It's like if things
mm,
got really bad, it's like Poland or Russia, like legitimately, given like overall general safety. If things
yep,
got really really bad, um, or
exactly.
back to the U.S. I guess. But I don't know. It's just it's a weird thing to think of.
It is,
Like
it
if you
is.
ever
That's why I took a time as well with my
yeah.
girlfriend, and we starting to aim for to be much more like they were settling down in Poland, building the house and everything like sustained as possible, and be like on their own, middle of nowhere, somewhere. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, and like I know Eagles in there. He says, come to Norway." It's like I would. The problem is that like I would want to be near a farm and stuff,
mm.
and you know, yeah.
It's
Like
interesting, but
I'm really
it's
lucky. Like a lot of my neighbors are farmers, and we get eggs
mhm.
and beef and lamb and all types of different things, like really really fresh, which you can't even you can't even put like a comparison to.
Yeah,
It's
true.
the weirdest thing was like coming from the US and coming to Sweden and getting like grass-fed beef, and I didn't actually think I'd ever tasted steak before.
Yep.
It was the weirdest feeling because it was so much richer, and it
And
was
I'm having that
wildly
as well. Like
different.
every single time I'm going to Poland, like into my family, and I have as well like a farmer family, little bit still like living there in their own farm. But every single time I'm go there, like even the vegetables or whatever, like fruits, it tastes such difference and so much more tastier. Oh, love it. Food is so good.
Yeah.
So
The only thing
yeah.
about Poland, like the food in Poland is just generally bland because you guys can't cook.
Fuck off.
I mean, but
It's a lot of pork. It's yeah, it's heavier, it's meaty, it's a little bit fattier. Yeah, I agree. But don't tell me that it's not
don't
tasteful.
get me wrong. It's like I can smash some pierogies as long as I got some
Oh,
hot sauce.
yep,
Like I can get on some pierogies.
yep. Every single day.
I did actually. It's weird. Like when I was in Russia a couple of years ago, I was like I did actually fall in love with borscht, like
Oh,
really homemade stuff. Like it was like coming home.
that's
You know, it was like
wintertime
it was
food. Yep.
yeah. It was. I mean, it was winter time when I went there, but it
Mm-hmm.
was really good.
It is. It is. And yes, Eagle boiled cabbage is good. Freaking Norwegian.
Yeah, and also just as a fellow Scandinavian, like we can't really talk shit because like we eat, you know, like this morning for breakfast, I ate pickled herring. Okay,
Ah, fuck.
like
No, thank
yeah,
you.
it's delicious. It's absolutely fucking delicious. And then I
Yeah, but
also
not for
had
breakfast.
yeah, I had mustard pickled herring, and
Holy
I had gravlax. So
Gravlax.
it was
Oh, nice.
it's cured salmon
Mm-hmm.
raw, and then I had, you know,
Okay.
eggs and
Quite
bacon
protein
and
full.
different meats and stuff. Yeah. You know, I do not eat surströmming ale, but no, nobody eats that. You
But
actually, it's actually because it's funny because that surströmming has been all across like
yeah,
social media for like, the
but
last
quite
couple of
wild.
years.
Yeah. I saw
Do you
so
know
many
why?
videos.
Do you know why surströmming exists?
Is it not like in like back in the days people been like curing the fish for staying for longer or to eat like they
Yeah,
didn't
but it's
have like
actually even funnier.
refrigerated?
So like we would so Sweden, this was like way back when Sweden was like the great power in, like, you know, Europe. Like
Mm-hmm.
they were, I think it was Gustav Vasa and like before his time even,
Mm-hmm.
and then they were like, you know, they all of Finland was Swedish, and like some of the Baltic states and Denmark and stuff like that. And as the society collapsed back and as the borders came back to like normal, the Swedes, you know, were making a fortune selling like, you know, pickled herring and, you know, long shelf like herring because it's amazing. It's rich in a ton of minerals. It's really good for you, great fats, that type of stuff. And they would sell it to like the Finns. And this is the funny part. So like the Finnish people, thinking that Swedes were these great, awesome, like, you know, the society we would like to be like. Well, there was something that got effed up with the storage and the long term fermenting of the herring, that there was like leaks and it actually went to rot. So the actual surströmming, they call it sour because it's actually rotting herring.
Okay.
So what they did was, and instead of telling the Finns like, hey, sorry, we're gonna have to eat a higher cost and we're not gonna sell you these barrels of pickled herring, they basically sold it as a high class like fine dining thing that they would sell to the Finns. So basically, like somebody effed up and they basically started like a fermenting slash like rotting process on the herring, sold it to the Finns, lying to them, telling it it's like the highest class stuff. And so the Finns would take it, it would smell like shit, and then they would, you know, you have to rinse it. I've eaten surströmming before.
Mm-hmm.
It's not good,
I tasted
but
once.
yeah, you have to open it. Okay.
Yeah.
The yeah. Well, so anyways, to finish that story, yeah. So the Finns liked it, and then the Swedes kept saying like, "Oh, these fucking crazy ass Finns, they actually like rotting fish. So let's just sell them rotting fish," which is how surströmming became a thing.
Holy shit. That's a funny story. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and then like I've eaten it like the correct way. I've eaten it the
Mm-hmm.
wrong way, which is just out of the can, and it's
Mm-hmm.
disgusting. It tastes like shit. Like I don't know what shit actually tastes like, but like I can
It come
imagine it
close
tastes
to
like
yeah.
rotting dead things. Um, but yeah, you open it in a bucket of water. Like you literally get a
Mm-hmm.
bucket of water, you open it up underwater, so like the shit doesn't spray everywhere because
Mm-hmm.
it's high
Yeah,
pressure.
it's pressured, yeah.
And then you rinse and scrub it as much as humanly possible underwater, and then you serve it like, you know, on toast or something with like sour cream and
Okay.
chives and stuff. And then it has no flavor. Yeah, you know, if you rinse it,
Yeah,
it
it's rinsed,
still
yeah.
doesn't taste good,
But it's
but
not that bad.
it's edible.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't
Now
know
one of my
that. I
close
just had
friends.
it from the can, like when
Oh
someone
yeah,
opened
dude.
on the
No,
party or whatever.
you
Like,
get
yeah,
sick as a
that's
dog, bro.
yeah.
You get like all diseases from that nastiness. Ugh.
It was fun,
Yeah, it is
at
fun.
least.
It's hilarious.
Yep. And as we go,
Oh,
1 hour, we broke it.
yep.
Nice.
Well, it's also the U.S. is the the expectation is that they don't cut rates in December. Like at this point, it seems like Powell is hell bent on just destroying everything. Like whoever's got their, you know, their hand up Powell's ass, working him like a sock puppet to like fuck everything up. Like
He's doing a pretty good
they're
job.
doing they're doing a pretty damn good
Yeah.
job because they're going to continue. I think they're just going to make continuously bad decisions until he's gone. But yeah,
Oh, it's gonna be a while and shittier, I guess. Today.
yeah. I mean, we've also got a free short, by the way. The next time the 1 hour bot gives a long position, by the way.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. I didn't pay attention much on it lately. But yeah,
Yeah, you
next
should.
time. I mean, I'm already in like 4 shorts, so I'm good on that one. But maybe I'm gonna take another one. Let's see.
Yeah, go on
Yeah.
BTC USDT, like there you go. So if you just if you add an alert to it, like I've already
Mm-hmm.
got them. Actually, never mind. You don't need to. It's like I already put them in the server, so
Yeah,
like
I saw that one.
already
Yeah.
add, yeah. So they'll already fire in the server. But the next time we get a log, it's
Mm-hmm.
like the counter trade to like go low.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I bet that's gonna be that.
I
All
think
of
lower.
that. A little bit
Honestly, I don't even
lower.
think you reach that. I think we go to like 98 or something. I think we fail the failure. If the structure at 98 to
Yeah, that's on the side readers
90,
of the previous daily
yeah,
open.
I think we get that at best. And then I think we find some bottoming structure. I don't know. If we clear the low here, we're probably just gonna gap and like freak everyone out again and then go to like 88. And if we the biggest one will be like I remember your chart when I first jumped on the stream was like your chart showing the high of swing, low of swing structure for the 88K zone, like
Mm-hmm.
88
Yeah, I've been
to
pointing out for
92.
the guys over here. Yeah.
Yeah, so as long as we don't go straight to that weekly low of
Yep.
support or the WLOS, if we just test the high of it and then start bouncing, like that's an easy long.
Yeah.
But if we go to the low of it, like we're going to a bear market. There's nothing stopping us from going back like below 70K, I think.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to say as well. Guys, like this stuff, breaking that, it's major
Even
shit.
testing it, I think even testing the weekly low, that weekly at low
Mm-hmm.
LOS is done. I think if we test that fully, you're shorting every retest
Yep.
until 107's regained, right?
Exactly. And the thing is, as well, I've been looking at it like for a couple of days as well. Like, imagine like we're gonna go there, like no matter what we're gonna do, break it or test it, no matter what. Like coming back, like any bounce right now, that underside retest over here might even push you lower, like 59 or whatever. I'm not even key. Like, if you're not gonna regain anything significant, like above 115, then I'm not. I don't think we're gonna come close even to 120. And that's on the side retest over here. That's failure, or maybe even the 100K. Yeah, that's done.
Yeah, but I
I'm
mean,
losing faith.
like I said, yeah, I mean, I am too, but I also know that we can pump our way out of this
Oh
structure.
yeah, definitely. Like
Yeah,
we've been doing that
yeah,
quite right. That it's been done quite heavily lately. But yeah, how many times we're gonna do that? I'm not
yeah. I mean, yeah, we still need to gain something back. I mean, that's the key here.
sure. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Basically, it's like beginning of May 1st, and all the structure left and right of that by a couple of days. Like that's what would have to happen. Uh, basically at 107 is that like 24th of April to 7th of May structure would have to happen above 107 for
Jeez.
me to get bullish.
Yeah. And that's still a lot of work to put in.
Yeah, it is. But like I said, like when I jumped on, what, 20 minutes ago,
Mm-hmm.
low time frame, you're probably looking for bounce.
Yeah. Let's see. Failure of 96. That's the short as well. If not, coming back into the previous daily, retest that. That's gonna be an easy one.
I wish I would have. I mean, I wasn't even looking at the charts. I was out shopping and shit. But uh, the failure this morning at like 11
Oof.
UTC was the easiest short I've seen in a long time. Like easy mode. weekend short.
Yeah, me too. I didn't pay attention much on the charts lately. That whole week I've been away with my girlfriend because she's coming over here in Holland.
Speak
So
Polish too?
half-ish.
Halvish? What does that
Yeah,
mean?
bit Dutch, bit Polish, and quarter of English, UK, British, whatever. You have like a big ass mix games.
Yeah, but I mean, like that's my American side, and I'm like, I'm gosh, so I'm like half Swedish, and it's like 100% Swedish, and then it's German, Scottish, English, Scotch, Irish. So like the
Jesus,
Scottish migrants to Ireland,
that's a mix.
and then Netherlands as well. It's funny,
Mm.
I got some like Dutch. I've got some like Dutch in
That-
me, but it goes way back to um the De Witt is like Colve De Witt and like
Mhm.
Edgar De Witt. Like that's like the longest, furthest back I've ever been able to trace my ancestry was like back to like
That's
1000
cool.
AD. Yeah. And then I'm also related to like the royal family of Prussia, but
That's
Prussia's not the
really
case anymore.
yeah, exactly. That's really far away. Boy, not many people can remember that.
Yeah. Well, that's because my great grandma, when I actually met my great grandma was a kid, she was like 90, she lived to 99. She was born in 1896.
That's
So
so
it's,
cool.
yeah. And she was from the Wolf family. So
Hi.
she was Prussian.
Didn't have a look actually on my ancestors and where I'm coming from. I know I'm like Polish definitely, but as well a little bit of Czech. Just my grandmother or came from Czech. So a bit more on the Slavic and Baltic side. Nothing special.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm like I'm part of that family that's like connected to like all of the U.S. presidents because like one of the American side of the family was like has been in America for like 400 years. So like I have like a blood relations like the vast majority of all of the presidents technically, but then also like weird stuff like the actor Robert Duvall, like
Mm-hmm.
apparently he's like my third cousin or something through my great great grandma or some
Crazy.
shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy
it
stuff.
is crazy,
Yeah.
but it's cool. I think it's really cool.
It is. It's always cool to have a look where you come from.
Yeah,
Your bloodline and everything. Like, yeah. It's always fun.
yeah. And then like being Polish, you basically come from potatoes. So
Yep. Purely potatoes. Yep. Yeah, and I love it. I fucking love it.
it's so funny. It's like my wife is Flemish, so like Dutch Belgian,
Oh,
and it's like and it's like oh, it's like how did you describe my people? Is like oh, you're a bunch of fucking hobbits. Like
yes, they are.
not because they're short, because they're not really short, but just everything is about like food and family and like merriment and drinking and stuff. It's really funny.
We've been yesterday in Antwerpen visiting some
Oh yeah,
friends, and I was like, oh my god, what the fucking shithole is this? Like,
yeah, I know.
it's
Oh
been a
my god,
while.
it's fucking
Holy shit.
yeah. My wife's cousin is a cop there, is like a metro cop
Oh,
in Brussels, and he tells me the fucking wildest shit.
mm.
And because he's like he does undercover and stuff too, and it's just the wildest nonsense they had to get down to Brussels. He's like, I was like, what do you think? It's like, how do you fix Brussels? He's like, nuke it. You have to nuke it. You have to blow the whole thing.
Yeah, it
Drop a
is.
nuclear bomb, blow the
Oh.
entire thing up, and then start again. And I was like, that's how you fix Brussels. He's like, fuck.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
exactly. We think as well in Holland like that. He's fucking doing that shit. We don't need it.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it is what it. Right. Anyhow, I'm gonna wrap it up and enjoy weekend. So yeah, let's see what we're gonna do. So far, a little bounce of 1 hour. Nothing major. Retesting the daily. But yeah, the high time frame levels, like I've been mentioning as well, those are the levels that you should look out for. I mean, hopefully next week, or how long are we gonna take care of it? Let's see. So far, it is down. Still, potentially some little bounce, but let's see if we're gonna hold it. Not much yet. To say about it, Eagle. Are you changing your MAs? MAs on it. It'd be a shame right now. Tell me.
Well, that was fun. You have a good one, buddy. I'll
Yeah.
catch y'all.
You too. Enjoy your Sunday. And yeah, I will see you, I guess, tomorrow. Mark it up. I
Yeah.
hope. Have a good one. I'm gonna go through the chat. Famex. Oh yeah, that's true. That's the Famex. Yeah, didn't realize it. Amaze. Yeah, sorry guys, we've been a little bit more of the script, the Viking, but it's always fun when he jumped. Anyone who knows that retail traders are very similar to the top traders? Yeah, Surf. It is it's the right pull of the information, so that means it's correct so far. We can pull it, and yes, they are on the same page as retail, and sometimes apparently it's happening. I feel a little bit sad for them, but it is what it is. Still recording? Yeah, sorry, Arca. Yeah, I've been recording it the whole time. Okay, so yeah, so far just going quickly back where we started with. So the high of the swing, like Vikings mentioned, this hip over here, the wick 88.8-ish area. Yeah, potentially I can see that we come back into it and see something like this maybe, right? And then depends how high we're gonna get on it. If not, the high of the weekly is the most important one, and the low of the weekly, right? Midpoint is the monthly one, so be aware of that. And the lowest as you go is the daily. Not really key. I'm more likely keen on the weekly because that's the higher time frame. Those are the things that you should matter because, as we've been saying, we're coming close to it, and this is right now the area make it or break it, right? So closing anything below 78, it's done. We're going into the bear market no matter what. We potentially could have any pullback on it, right? For any retest of the underside tested of the whole swing failure over here. Potentially there is a chance, as I've been saying, we might do the same thing what we did previously in the whole bear market. We run the highs and then we do the bigger failure, right? After the failing of the weekly over here, same thing, right? This is exact the same thing what we are aiming right now. This low, and that's been broken over here. And then we run the highs, right? So technically we regain that low by going into the high, close anything above it, fake everyone out, and then dump it. So by all means, be aware that this could potentially still happen after coming close into the weekly lows, right? So already, what I've been mentioning, the levels that I really care about is 86 for potentially some bounce. That could be in any means the underside retest of even this swing failure, which is the failure of that low, or you're gonna go higher up for the failure on the mid range over here. If not, you have a continuation still to the 78-ish area, and that's the make or break. Nothing else is there. Because right now, closing anything, no matter what, how you gonna close right now, even the daily, it's wrecked shit and whatever you want to mean. That hip, it's been held only by 94.2 level right now. Close that, you're going straight into that high time frame stuff below us. All right. So be aware of that. Those are the levels that you should have on your chart always, and no matter what, we might reach into it, right? So far, right now, even on the daily one, any bounce right now, it's gonna be into the underside retest, or potentially you're gonna have a bigger failure. Let's say you put a super fib on it, that's your biggest failure from the 104-ish area. One of those ones gonna pull that long trade or whatever you're gonna have it. I guess that's gonna be the long right now. That's gonna be next potentially a counter trade, right? I'm not really keen on that one. I don't care about that kind of strategy, but so far those are the levels locally. What do you need to flip? I mean, obviously is the 106 area. Then you're gonna start to get into the mid area over here, finally back into the 14, and maybe you're gonna reach the highs. Let's see. So far, please remember what's the trend. This is the trend right now. Nothing changed yet. Right? 1 hour. What are we doing? If you're gonna go a little bit more on the low time frame, low, lower low. Right? Failing what? You fail your previous high over here. So coming closer to that one. There we have it. That's your local failure. To be honest with you, this looks a little bit more poopy of the glyph. So yeah, overall, we still are in the downtrend. 4 hour close lower than the previous low. That's been broken already. 1 hour been broken. Daily wise, no matter how you close it right now, still gonna be wrecked till you're gonna flip your on the daily wise flip 106. Going back close to 100k, so the 100k level, that's the underside retest for a continuation. Right? I hope that's clear. So that's the level that Viking is aiming for. Viking level. Those are mine. I'm aiming for a little bit lower. Here, reset them weekly. Hip, hip, and that's the daily. So those are the levels. Those are the most important levels right now. Nothing else below us. And we just did the whole turn around. To flip the charts, how does it look like? Obviously, what did we do is hold downtrend over here, hold, bounce. Why Vikings aiming for 188.8? That's the underside over here. That's the underside retest. So potentially something like this. You have a continuation. And then on top of that, if you don't see it yet, then this is your with it. Where does it end? Look at that. First invalidation. That's freaking high invalidation. That's going to be really obvious if you even close anything below 78. That the whole trend been invalid to the downside. But still, look at that. That's the swing high. That's the swing low. Super pocket. Easy as it gets. And please, by all means, use this tool as well. Invert the chart if you don't see it. Right? How deeply can we go? Like, this is the high. This is the underside, the previous low. This is your pocket where you go if you start to lose your 94.2. Done. This is it. Nothing else to say about it. Top of that, I've been mentioning as well, liquidity levels. Look at that. Where does it end? A little bit lower, but still. The most of it, you're going to take 90% of the whole fucking market liquidity to the downside. going into the low of 78. That's how you should use those indicators together with the swing points as well. And as well, what you're having more on it is the algo master. There's the support. Same area when the stupid fits into it. So on top of that, that's why you aim for this area to long anything significant. Nothing major right now happening. Right now, we are trying to break this support over here, that overlapping support over here. Could happen today, maybe tomorrow. But remember as well, there is shitloads above us as a pressure for the downside. Okay, I hope that's clear. Hope you guys understand what we try to say. Try to give you as well. There's a lot of happening. There's a lot of still up movement, or I mean, on the index, more or less down movement on the whole situation. Dixie as well start to maybe reverse. Who knows? It's holding on this previous support structure. Be aware of that. Market, the whole market is already down. We start to break the daily time frame. Weekly been already erect, so that's nothing changed. Still, we're gonna meet what 782. That's the low. Yes, it's been tested, but still potentially on the body close we could close it below or above it yet. This is still found as support. If not, then you aim for freaking 70 and 700. That's the fucking bear market stuff, right? Pex still middling to the T, what I've been mentioning last week. Let's see if you're gonna range on it. Dominance broke the low. That's good potential for up movement. But first, we're gonna do some damage for the resistance. Fail on any of those two levels over here. Those are the key levels right now for bigger movement to the downside. That means we might turn around. So far, this is just a small failure of the low. Okay, nothing major till we're gonna fail on from the resistance as from the highs. So yeah, a lot of happening, a lot was going on. I didn't go through the alts that I planned to go just because Viking jumped in and took some time off from it. But overall, this is still down everything. So not nothing special, like hype as well. Like not even bother to long anything till we're gonna get back at 34-ish maybe. Let's see. Not much for me to long those small scalp longs. I think I saw Zoe is doing some longing on it, but I don't bother. He's a bit more bullish than the rest of us, I guess. Overall, AVAX still down, losing. It lost its 15 area that I've been mentioning. Oh, sorry, a little bit more above on the daily. 15.9. We lost that. There's not much to hold on till we're gonna redo some structure. Injective, a little bit more better looking chart. Still at the support, but overall, if it does start to break, we might go. We fell quite heavily from this high. Didn't even regain, didn't come back for it. So still down movement. That bullshit ZK is still holding at weekly. Yeah, that's the weekly. 4 hours. Sorry, that's the 4 hour. So we are right now below the 4 hour. Like look at those freaking wicks on it. That's already sign that there is a lot of selling going on. We are at the resistance. So this been your almost third short position over here. I didn't take it. I didn't care. I didn't been close even to the chart or anything. The high time frame been broken to the downside. Daily as well. I mean, weekly, monthly. There is no need for even to talk about it. And yeah, this is your whole freaking stupid flip. There it is. Who knows? Maybe this gonna fail or something. I saw some people talking about it, or transgender people that are behind it or something. Jesus Christ, they're going really deep in it. I don't fucking care about it at all. If I measured that level over here to 3.39 level. Lose that, you're gonna go 2.9. And to be honest with you, we're still reaching for it, but we are quite close. There it is. That's the level that you want to hold. If not, I'll go back in 2.5. Much to say about that. Solana, that's the area that you want to look for it. For any potential bounce from it, that could be good. If not, you're gonna start to get back into the $100 one. So, still, I'm moving on most of them. This bullshit still at the resistance. So, let's see if that's gonna continue or not. But didn't even regain the previous high on it on 1 hour. Freaking 4 hours still failing from. So yeah. And 105 is your whole side flip on it. Yeah, overall, still down. Not much to say. Still, you're gonna start to flip major things on it. Like, yeah, you can take some bounce on 1 hour, right? Losing the low, keep the lows, fail, come back into your 96. That's a nice, potentially scalp. Yeah, see, there it is. Regaining that. Where do you go? Next hip is this resistance area, 99. Dang, failing that. Gonna have the sell signal over here. That's all, I guess. And you take the time on something. Yeah, okay, no worries, man. Yeah, I'm quite tired from the driving around, but yeah, it's fine. I just came home before the stream. And yeah, from tomorrow, gonna be full on bear porn. Yeah, boy. Hope guys you ready for it. Because till then, not much gonna change. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention as well. Not sure if you realize that, but the daily time frame uh, got yeah, after losing the 100K, we got into the cash flow, negative cash flow. That's the first time since September. So yeah, a lot of points and pointing the same area for potential down movement into this stuff over here. So yeah, mark those levels, copy them over if you are lazy, if you don't want to go by and search for them. The areas of numbers, the price, whatever. Copy them over, have them on your chart, and go by them because this is the major point right now. Every single thing in between, it's noise. So yeah, big pocket below us. It's gonna be a fun week. Sure. I'm gonna have a look on my shorts to take some profits on them or whatever. Maybe add to them. Let's see. And believe me, I'm gonna be quite vocal when I'm gonna pull some long position on it. But so far, I'm not even bothered at all. Besides some bots that are trading. But yeah. And we have some sell-off happening. 200 only. Okay. There was one with 2K. Someone around pointed. He's pulling that already. But yeah. See? Underside retest perfectly. Pulling back. Failing it. You're gonna go into the 93. But yeah. That's how it works. Not much to say, I guess. More about it. Any questions before I'm gonna pop the show? Oh yeah, I guess the leaderboard is ending today, right? The weekly one. Yeah, it is. So yeah, pop your numbers, pop your tickers, and who knows, might win next week. And if you are bored or if you want to rewatch the stream, then this is YouTube link. You can rewatch it in high speed or low speed, whatever. Bit easier than on Vimeo. Yes. And yeah, if there are no questions, Flemish, yeah, they do. It was a bit messy one today. Viking jumped on. Well, overall, I think the area that we aim for is quite clear, and as well why that's gonna happen. Right, that's the most important what people want to know. Why something happening. Right, there is as well one area why it's happening. So this is not one, and we have plenty more to aim for. So yeah, guys, keep the noise away. No need to even look for it or whatever. Yeah, let's talk about cabbage. Yeah, I'm sorry, Orca. Sometimes happen. I cannot fucking kick him out. He's the boss. He can kick me. I cannot kick him. So unfortunately, it is what it is. Right? But yeah, all good. So far, if you guys don't have any questions, then it's fine. Later on, you can always ask us in the chat, DM, whatever. If you need any mentoring, you know where to find us. And yeah, there's a lot of things to learn as well, guys. And to see, to learn. Knowledge is the key. Everything. Keep it simple. Because that's the most important one. Like that's why I keep it simple, because this is why the reason why I could be away for a week, not even fucking bothered with looking at the charts. Like having my shorts on. So this is it. This is how it goes. And this is how we play, I guess. So yeah. Have a good one. Thank you very much. Appreciate you all. I'm gonna see you at the flip side on Wednesday. And hopefully for a great open of the week. Gonna be a bloody one. Gonna be a great one. Believe me. So yeah. Have a good one.